Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be bringing to you another video, but today I'm giving you 10 tips on how to reduce your stress and not lose your mind during the quarantine. Plus, if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you one more bonus tip. Now, before we get started, make sure that you hit the like button and the red subscribe button. That way you get notified every time I post a new video. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get started, I want to say as well that obviously we're going through a tough time all around the world, and my prayers and thoughts and all the good vibes are being sent out to everybody who's impacted negatively by COVID-19. There's nothing in this video that it could ever replace some of the tragedies that has happened. However, I know more than ever, it is important for us to try to figure out ways to reduce our stress, because as we know, stress is one of the biggest causes of death. Also can lead to so many more complications. So while we are going through this trying time, it's really important that we figure out a way to manage our stress as a part of our health regimen. So with that being said, the first thing that I want to say is to pray or meditate and or do both. And this is so important to me. It has become so important to me lately. My religious journey is something that is not as traditional. I didn't grow up in the church. If you guys want to hear more about that, please let me know. I'm really thinking about creating a video about that. I'm still a novice learner, but I am right now still trying to grow in my faith. And I'm really excited because I feel a huge healing happening and transformation happening in my life on a spiritual level. And I don't know if it's just me. I hope you guys are too. So let me know as well in the comment section if you guys are experiencing this, because it's so huge right now to use this time to reflect. How can we get better in all areas? And one way that we can get better definitely is in the spiritual aspect of our lives. So I really encourage you, if you're not already doing that, whatever your faith, whatever your religion, explore that more deeply. Find ways to connect to yourself and to a higher source. The second thing that I want to say is just get regular exercise. Now, there's so many people who are like trying to get snatched and do all this other stuff, but really, let's keep it simple. Exercise 3 to 5 times a week. Some moderate cardio, make sure you get some sweat on your brow, and get that heart rate elevated. We all know that exercising is linked to lower levels of blood pressure and also to just reducing stress overall. So let's make sure we get some regular exercise in. Tip number 3 is to drink herbal teas. I have my tea right now. I love drinking me some tea, especially during the morning or the mid-afternoon or even at night before bed. Herbal teas are great. You can mix them up. You can have some nice stress relief tea, or you can do like a chamomile tea or a lavender tea. Those are definitely really good when it comes to reducing stress. So I just really think there's something really soothing about drinking something warm, even if it's like hot chocolate or that, like, you know, something that's not so good for you. Something about it is just relaxing. I think that, at least me, and I could totally be making this up, but whenever I just have time to have some tea, it's time for me to sit down, relax, read a book, do something really relaxing. You know what I mean? Am I making that up? Are you like that too? I don't know. So tip number 4 is to take time to be by yourself and be distraction free. It's so easy for us to want to fill up our day with being on the phone, and I've definitely done that, just been on the phone, because it's good for you to interact, especially during these times, but it's also very important to take some time to be by yourself and to take away some of the distractions. Maybe because it's tied into that self-reflection piece that I was talking about in tip number 1, but having time to yourself is so important. Cut off your phone sometimes. Have a routine where you cut your phone off at a certain amount of time, because those notifications popping up, those distractions pop up, they definitely mess with your anxiety. And I don't know about you, but this is something that I really struggle with. I'm watching people sharing things about COVID-19, about the quarantine. Energy flows, you guys. Like, energy is transferable, and when people are posting all of their paranoia, it will make you paranoid. As a matter of fact, I experienced a high level of anxiety. I mean, chest tight, all those things in the beginning of this quarantine, and it was the majority of it came from other people's paranoia. And I'm so serious about this. Like, that's not healthy. Turn that off. Get off your phone and don't be looking at all that stuff. So the first thing is turn off your phone. The second thing is have a time limit on how long you take in the news and how much of the news that you take in. I limit my news to the morning. I limit it to about 20-30 minutes, and that is it. Throughout the day, I'm not checking a news thing. The third part of that is to do a cleanse, like a social media cleanse. Last week, I was off of social media all week long and decided to do it this week again for a little bit of time. But it was so just relaxing to not have to be constantly scrolling through my phone, to be distracted by so much. And not to mention, I got so much done as well, and I was much more focused. So getting off of social media is a huge part of being distraction free and having time to yourself, because you really have time to sit, reflect, be intentional about your time and your purpose, and also connecting to God on a spiritual level. Tip number 5 is to laugh. However you like to laugh, like you watch a comedy show, watch a stand-up comic, watch a funny movie, or get on the phone and FaceTime with your girlfriends. Not the ones that complain all the time, but the ones that you know that just crack you up. Y'all have the same sense of humor and you just love connecting with that person. Also, going into that, like, call some friends and family that you haven't talked to in a while and catch up. I'm sure you'll have lots of laughs and lots of things to connect on once you do that. So take some time, schedule some time out to make connections with people, laugh, watch something funny or read something funny, watch your favorite YouTube comic or whoever, and just get to feeling good. This next one I really enjoy is picking up a new hobby. You can start painting, you can start journaling, you can start doing puzzles, you can start a blog, you can start rollerblading, you can start dancing, you can learn how to twerk, you can learn how to make TikTok videos, you can play a board game. Those are all things that that people are starting to do now. I personally just bought some rollerblades, so y'all just pray for me, okay? But outside of that, there's so many other things that you can do, like register for online singing courses or take an online dance class or online fitness class. There are so many things to do right now, and all of those things are things that I'm interested in doing. So that's what I've been doing to kind of keep myself entertained and stress-free. It doesn't require social media, and it doesn't require having conversations with a bunch of people. It's just me getting to do the things that I always kind of wanted to do and never really had the time. But while you're doing something fun, you are definitely relieving stress. Tip number 7 is to pamper yourself. Whether it's having a hair or foot or a facial routine that you're starting up to take care of your skin, your hair, or your feet, or even your nails, those are all really good things that are very soothing and relaxing, but they also keep you good in all areas. Another thing that I've been doing in terms of pampering myself is taking a bath. Taking a bath, especially with essential oils, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but yeah, like, who has time on a regular day to like take frequent baths? So take baths, light candles, maybe get you a glass of tea or a cup of tea or a glass of wine, a good book or some good music, some essential oils, some candles burning. Like, it's a good time. Tip number 8 is to be in nature. Being in nature is so therapeutic. For one, it has so many more healing properties. Like, nature heals for real. And has anybody ever noticed, like, once you're out in nature, you just feel better? And I personally feel closer to God when I'm in nature. I'm in His creation, and I don't know, I just feel very earthy like, and very just free and relaxed. Also, sometimes when you're in nature, which I don't recommend this now, like being too close to people, but when you're usually around other people who are either already relaxed or trying to be relaxed and are happy, and you guys just kind of exchange that emotion. I don't know how many times I've been on like a trail or running or walking or something like that, and the person that's walking by smiles at me, or, this is This is me tipping my hat. Howdy. So go in nature, you know, smell the flowers, put your feet in the sand, do whatever that you want to do. I'm not putting my feet in the sand, but if you want to do that, go for it. Tip number 9 is to dance. Believe it or not, dancing really gets you in a really good mood. It gets you happy, it gets you excited, and the opposite of stressed is to being happy. So I definitely recommend it. I was reading a book one time, and I don't remember what the book was, but the book was talking about how when you dance, you actually release the same type of hormones that you do when you have a high from drugs or alcohol. So a lot of times what people recommend is that you dancing to try to offset drinking or doing other things when you're under the influence, as sort of like a natural high. So I definitely recommend dancing. Sometimes I just turn on my music while I'm in here and I just start dancing. I know my neighbors, they can see me from up there, and they probably like, what's wrong with this girl? But I don't care. I'm doing whatever I can to keep stress free, okay? And finally, tip number 10 is to use essential oils. Essential oils are so good for their relaxing and calming properties, not to mention just all of the like healing properties that essential oils are claimed to have. I love using them. You have chamomile, you have lavender. You can use those for so many different things. You can use it as a mist and spray it over your beddings to make it more relaxed before you go to bed. You can put a couple droplets into your bath. You can burn them in a candle, in like a oil burner, or sometimes in a pot of water. You can just boil it over the stove or in a tea kettle or something like that. I love using those. I use peppermint and eucalyptus in my bath. I just put a couple of drops of it in the corners of the bathtub and put that shower on super hot and steamy, and I mean, it's instant spa in the bathroom, and I love it. So use essential oils for their properties to help you feel calm and relaxed. I recommend this to my friends when they're feeling stressed out. Actually, like last week or the week before, I recommended it to like 3 people. I love using it. So definitely use those. And finally, your one bonus tip is to keep your surroundings clean. Like, clean your house, have a cleaning schedule. And I know that doesn't seem like super extravagant for a bonus tip, but it really is, because a cluttered mind is a cluttered life. And when you start, when you notice your surroundings and it's super cluttered, it's often a reflection of what it's like on the inside. So if you're having a lot of anxiety on the inside, try starting outside, cleaning up your home. I know that cleaning in general is a therapeutic process for me, although I don't like washing the dishes or folding my laundry. When I am cleaning, put on some nice music and just be in my zone, be in my element. That naturally helps to calm me down. Not to mention, just having a nice, peaceful, clean place. It smells good, it looks presentable. That is just so calming and relaxing. There's nothing like coming home to a nice, clean environment. I know you guys have some great tips as well, so comment below with any tips that you might have on how you're reducing your stress and not going crazy during this quarantine. Also, if I mention anything during these tips that you want a little bit more information about, like I mentioned, like my spiritual journey or using essential oils or whatever, let me know below as well, because I'd be happy to make a follow-up video to that. But anyways, that's all I have for today. Love you guys so much, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.